Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the BSGL as we are going through week 1 highlights. To start off, we have the Boston Hilltoppers versus the Cincinnati Bulldogs in game number 1. We are in Cincinnati for this one as the Bulldogs win the tip, and we'll start off with the ball. Van Exel drives, kicks it to Beretta. Beretta, little face-up move back to Jolly Harper, and that is how the season will start, on a missed three from Jolly Harper. Fast forward later in the first. Jolly Harper, fader, no good, blocked by the big man. As here comes Puff down the lane. He goes right at Jolly Harper and gets an and one to start off his season, as that puts Boston up 4, now 5-0. Fast forward a little bit more in the first. Here's Armstrong going right at the center for the Hilltoppers, and he will head to the line to get his first BSGL points of his career, as he is 1 for 1 and now 2 for 2 at the line. Moving forward a little farther into the first quarter, here's Parker Puff off the screen, 3-ball, good. Parker Puff with 6 early points here for the Hilltoppers, as he makes a mistake here and double teams Armstrong, and he finds an open Van Exel for 3. As we move forward further into the first quarter, Chuck Armstrong, great feed inside. As then later we see some good defense here from Armstrong as he picks up the steal and then goes right at the defender and draws a foul. Some good play here from Armstrong early, as the Bulldogs have taken a 5-point lead now, looking to push it to 6. Here is Armstrong, and he does. So later in the second quarter, here's Puff finding Leto for a huge slam on the inside, cutting it down to 2. Now here's Jolly Harper whipping it out to Armstrong. Cannot leave him that open. That is money all day. Into the third quarter now. Armstrong defending. He's going to go inside to Sullivan, but Armstrong says no. Now here come the Bulldogs the other way. Into Armstrong. Armstrong probing. Little moves, doesn't know what to do with it. Nobody's really moving. Armstrong all alone. Decides to fire a fader, and it's good. Chuck Armstrong showing his shooting ability and tying this game. Even later in the third, Bulldogs with a 2-point lead. Here's Puff driving right down the lane. Mid-range jumper is good to tie the game. Third quarter still now. Beretta and Armstrong with a little 2-man game. He goes into Beretta, who throws down a wicked 2-handed slam. Trent Beretta with no regard for human life. Here's Puff later in the game. Another mid-range, no good. Armstrong with a board. He's pushing it up the floor. Killer crossover. Goes right. Whips it out to Van Exel for 3. Bang! Van Exel hits another 3 off the feed from Armstrong, and it is a 5-point Bulldogs lead. Later in the third, here's Puff wide open. He nails another 3. Not what he is known for, but you cannot leave him that open, as the Bulldogs call timeout. Here's later in the game, off a Hilltoppers turnover. The lob to Beretta as he throws it down with the left hand, showing off the athleticism. As look at how high he flies. Here we go to start the fourth. Hilltoppers lead by 5. Inside, as look at this backup point guard as he dishes to Massenberg, as he made that man look silly, as that man tried to bite on the pass, but instead it ends in an easy slam for Massenberg. As here we see Chuck Armstrong fall asleep a little bit, and Parker Puff find his man for the alley-oop. Here he is later in the game. Puff getting doubled, spinning around, and he loses it to Armstrong. Armstrong trying to push, goes to Van Exel, but Parker Puff steals it, and he's going right back the other way for a huge slam. That'll put the Hilltoppers up 7 with just 3 minutes remaining. A huge bucket from Parker Puff that leaves the Bulldogs reeling, as he has been on it all game. And that is exactly why he is today's player of the game, as we see him hitting some open 3s. And like I said, he's not an elite three-point shooter, but he can definitely hit those open ones along with every other person in the league, as he's knocking down some more. As here we are later in the fourth, as the Bulldogs need some offense. 2-man game, Massenberg and Armstrong. Armstrong just fires and nails a smothered 3, as Chuck Armstrong puts the Bulldogs within 4 as we go within 2 minutes. Here's Parker Puff trying to throw the lob, but it's stolen away by Beretta. Here's Jolly Harper going down the lane. He goes into Armstrong, blocked by Puff. Puff says no. Puff denies Armstrong at the rim to keep it a 2-point game, as here's Puff dribbling left, coming back right, looking at the screen as both Armstrong and Charlie Harper bite inside. And Puff, instead of taking the three, goes inside, and he gets an and one. Charlie Harper fouls, and Armstrong couldn't get the block, so it is an and one. And he is headed to the line to maybe put this game possibly out of reach, as he nails the free throw, and it is a 5-point Hilltoppers lead. As here we go in the next possession as Charlie Harper puts a man on a poster. Charlie Harper goes right at the rim with a two-handed flush to put the Bulldogs within 3. As here comes Bowen. Goes right. Looking for somebody. Back left. Just wasting some clock. He's going to drive left. Looking inside. Nothing doing. Pump fake. No dice. Goes out to Parker. Parker. Killer crossover. Inside. And a jelly layup reverse from Parker Puff to put the game on ice. As Parker Puff went right around his man. Charlie Harper tried to take a charge. And no dice. So Parker Puff with a huge bucket. As here's Chuck Armstrong. Wide open three. No good. Trent Beretta a rebound. Goes out to Van Exel. Van Exel's three. No good. And that will just about do it, as the Hilltoppers secure their first win of the season in Cincinnati on a huge night from Parker Puff and the rest of this Hilltoppers squad in a very exciting first game of action. As we look at a box score here on the day, Chuck Armstrong, 20 points, 23 rebounds, 9 assists, and Puff with his big numbers as well. We're going to check out the other box score on the day as we see the Wildcats defeat the Town Hawks. As you can see, Xander Myers there with a nice double-double, along with Kevin Ball there with also a double-double with 13 assists. You can expect to see a lot of games like that from him. Moving right into the second game of the night, we have the Enforcers and the Titans, as we see Will Trust go right at the rim early for his first BSGL points in a very big way, as he goes up with the left and dunks all over that man. As we move later into the game here, Will Trust again looks inside, and it's a foul on Doug White, the Titans center, and it will be an and one for Morris. And he and Will Trust were a very big 1-2 punch in this game for this Enforcers team. As we move later into the game now, late first quarter, stolen by Trust. Running the fast break, he's throwing the lob to Hawkins, who punches it. Doug couldn't find the ball in the air, and Will Trust lobs it up to Hawkins, who throws it down. Here we are later in the game. After a turnover by the Enforcers, Will Trust the only one back, but there's Doug White to clean it up, but a nice hustle play by Will Trust to force the miss. As here we go later, Trust driving right, goes right at his way bigger man, who is a very oversized point guard as it is, and puts it in. You can expect to see a lot of that from Will Trust. Here's Doug White later in the first, showing off his post moves as he nails the post fade. Still in the first quarter, Will Trust off the screen, probing inside, gets doubled. On the back pass to Morris, who nails the mid-range jumper. Morris has been great so far, as you can see his numbers there at the beginning. And we are still in the first, as they're looking in for Doug White, who's punching it. A two-handed tomahawk slam for Doug White to take the lead. Now the Titans with a 4-point lead. Here's Trust, whipping it into Morris, who posters his man, Stephen Morris, with a two-handed slam right in the face of his defender. Now into the second quarter. Here's Figueroa, whipping it out to, what is that, Handy? I don't even know what that man's name is. Who goes up to, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, but Doug cleaning it up, lefty hook, all day for the big man. And now we're still a 2-point lead for the Titans. They're going right back to Doug White. Doug White drives left, lefty hook, another one good. As Doug White is scoring at will, he's already got 10 points. Now here Titans again on offense. Figueroa into Doug, and what is that? He's just cooking with gas now as he flips in a little lay, and here we are later in the game. Nobody back on the break as Doug White punches it. And now he's got 16 points as the Titans take a 6-point lead. Into the third quarter, 9-point lead for the Titans as Trust finds Hawkins for a slam all in the face. of Doug White. Now here's Will, probing again, finding Hawkins. Hawkins blocked by White. A terrible shot attempt from Hawkins, and Doug says no. As there's a layup off the block. There's Trust later in the game. Still the third quarter. And now Morris, who's slamming yet another one. Morris was definitely Trust's favorite target all game as they found each other multiple times. Back into Doug White on the other end. Doug misses. Forward dunk. Doug White cleaning up his own miss as it is an 8-point lead for the Titans, and he has been dominant. Now back the other way. Here's Trust, who says, whatever you can do, I can do better. As he puts Doug White on a poster. Goes up strong with the left hand and proves that size does not matter in this league. As here he finds Lavender for a bucket and one, and Doug White with the foul. As he is collecting fouls at a very rapid rate so far in the game, as he might need to take a seat or he may foul out as Lavender hits the free throw. Later in the third, Trust defending, goes into White. White back down, step back, good from the mid-range, as Doug White has been on fire all night. Here he is again. Doug, back down, spin move, up, fake, back in, lefty hook, good. He's on fire. Here we are in a 3-point game into the fourth quarter. Hawkins driving, loses it a little bit, goes up, and Doug White fouls him, and that is Doug White's 6th foul as he fouls out 20 seconds into the fourth quarter. We tried to see if the Titans could hold that lead, and they cannot, as they let Will Trust grab an offensive rebound, already down 3. They're falling apart without their big man. And here's Will Trust going right at the rim and hanging high as he puts another Titans big man right on a poster, and Morris was lead blocking. So here we are later in the game. Titans just down 2 as that orange-haired man, I think his name's like Menchuanga, that's what we're going to call him, as he collects an and one and ties this game for the Titans. Manchuguana, I don't know what his name is. We're just going to call him the man. As the man heads to the line and nails his free throw, putting Detroit up 1. Here later in the game, Figueroa's at the line. He's going to miss. So a fast break opportunity for the Enforcers. Will Trust stops and pops the 3, and it's good. Will Trust puts the Enforcers back up, and here he is later in the fourth. Minute 22 remaining. Goes right at the rim and almost had a huge poster on about 3 defenders, but couldn't quite get it to fall as they were already down 3. So now here's the Titans looking to put it away. Figueroa whips it out to Hardy. Hardy a 3. No good. So now another chance for the Enforcers. Here's Will Trust looking inside. He then goes to Sanders, and Sanders throws it away. Sanders, a costly mistake there for the Enforcers as he throws it away. Here's Mann, but then Mann loses it. Another fast break chance for the Enforcers, still down 3. Will Trust is begging for it. Was open for a little while and knocks it home. A man came over, but he decided to still fire, and Will Trust hits the 3. So here in a tie game, right off the inbound, Figueroa fires, no good. And a board by the Enforcers. So here they come down the other way. And here now Trust with the ball, and he is going to hold for the last shot, as it would put just about, there's a 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock, so they're going to wind it down as much as they can. Trust gets double, dribbles right between, goes out to McAfee. McAfee, no good. But here's Hawkins with a rebound, and instead of going back up, he whips out to Trust for some reason. Trust is stunned, has to fire, and is blocked. Blocked at the horn. So we have overtime basketball here in week number 1. As the Titans win the tip here in OT. Figueroa drives right. Crossover behind the back left. Little fake hesitation. And then gets an and one on the foul from Trust. A terrible start to OT for the visiting Enforcers as Figueroa heads to the line. Looking for his 1 free throw, and he gets it to fall as Figueroa gets a 3-point play to start overtime. Now later in overtime, here's Trust finding Hawkins for 3, and that will put them up by 2 with a minute 49 remaining. Just 8 seconds later, here's Mann driving. Floater, no good, blocked by Hawkins. Hawkins says no. Lavender now has it. He looks into McAfee. McAfee a righty layup, and it's good. So the Enforcers lead by 4. 19 seconds later, Enforcers back on offense after a score by the Titans. Lavender looking around, whips it inside to Morris, who punches it with a right hand. A great feed by Lavender, but the Enforcers still only lead by 2. Here's Hawkins, who goes to McAfee. Couldn't do it in regulation, but he hits the 3 in overtime to put the Enforcers up 5. Now just leading by 3, back on offense. Will Trust inside to Hawkins, and he's swatted. So Detroit has a chance, and it's man down the lane. Whips it out to Figueroa. Figueroa midi, no good. Hawkins with a rebound. They're going to have to go to Trust, and they will have to foul. So Trust at the line of the bonus. And it is good. First one, 4-point lead. And a 5-point lead to pretty much put it on ice. As here we see the Titans try and inbound, maybe get something going. Maybe get a foul. I don't know what they're going to do. They do get it in to Figueroa, who drives White, wasting a lot of time. Really deep 3, no good. Trust with a board, and they have to foul him again. And that is all she wrote in this one, as Will Trust sinks the first free throw and the second, as that will put this one on ice. And Chicago wins it in overtime, 90-83. What a second game here. This is our first OT game in the BSGL as we look at some scores around the league. The Hilltoppers collect another win behind a double-double from Parker Puff. But Alan Smith had a nice night himself, a double-double with 23 points and 13 boards, but not enough to get his Wolfpack to the win. Looking now at the second game. Brigade. Big-time effort from DeJuan Jones, even though they lost by 26. As Cy Gilbert was just a rebound away from that triple-double. What a game, and Vernon Farmer put up a nice game there at the top. Looking at this game, Doug White, 37 points, 15 boards, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 2 assists. A great game, but he fouled out as Will Trust put up 42 points, 7 boards, 15 assists, and 3 steals. And was 15 for 15 at the line and was very clutch for his team. Moving right into the last game of the week, we have the Oakland Townhawks playing the visiting Anaheim Royals as the Townhawks win the tip. Moving ahead into the first quarter, here's Kenny Dimes. Drives right, spins left, and he puts up a little floating shot and that will fall for his first bucket of the year. Here's Dimes again, whipping it inside, forcing a miss, and there's the big man for the Royals with a putback slam in the face of Myers. Still in the first, here's Dimes on the break, throwing it down with 2 hands as his team leads by 2. Still a 2-point lead for Anaheim. Here's Dimes, mid-range shot, good, as Dimes is cooking early, finding open teammates and hitting shots himself. Here's the Townhawks on offense here in the second quarter. Up 3, as there's Myers going left, driving right at his man and putting it up with the left for a nice bucket. Now leading by 5. Here's definitely not Daniel Tice going to Rogers. And Rogers catches Myers sleeping, throwing it back to definitely not Daniel Tice for a lob. Here's Myers in the post as he spins right, spins left, and then slams it with the left hand to push his team back up to a 5-point lead. Now in the third, just a 2-point lead for Oakland, as nobody steps in the way of Myers, and he throws it down with the left hand. What a play from Myers. As here we are now, still third quarter. Kenny Dimes driving, loses it, behind the back pass to definitely not Daniel Tice. They don't call him Kenny Dimes for nothing, as that is the best pass we've seen all week, as Kenny Dimes knocks down another mid-range before the third quarter expires. Now in the fourth, 3 minutes remaining, Oakland by 7. Here's Kenny Dimes off the screen, nailing the three-pointer to make it a 4-point game, a big shot from this Anaheim leader. Here after a miss by the Townhawks, here's Dimes on the break again, looking left, finger roll layup is good. 5 straight for Kenny Dimes, as it is now just a 2-point Townhawks lead. Later in the game, we're all tied up now. Myers fakes right, goes left, and is fouled. He will head to the line for 2. As Myers' first one is good. Myers' second one. Crowd gets on their feet as he nails it. So a 2-point Townhawks lead with 30 seconds remaining, and on the break, after an Anaheim miss, Dimes gives up the foul. So a chance to possibly push it out of reach, but he misses the first one. Gotta have this one to make it to make it a nice lead, but he misses again. So now here's Royals on their next possession. Dimes goes right at the hoop. Mack, spin, drop step. It's good. Tie game with 7.5 remaining on the big bucket from Mack. So here the Talonhawks needing a miracle. They get it in. Clock is running. They put it into Myers. Myers, 2 seconds, has to fire. And it's good! Mike Green would say bang as Xander Myers wins it for the Oakland Townhawks on a fadeaway jumper as time expires. 56-58 is your final, and Kenny Dimes is very upset. Xander Myers with the first game winner, first of many in this BSGL league. What a game. As now we look at some box scores. Xander Myers, 33 points, 26 rebounds. What a game from him. As Kenny Dimes put up 37, 7 boards, 7 dimes for him, and 3 blocks, as he got it done everywhere but could not pick up the W. Some other games on the day. Kevin Ball and his team pick up another win, as he didn't play too well himself, but it's enough to get the W. As the Sting, Brian Williams, puts up 13, 6, and 8, but not enough to get his team the W, as they got killed in that one. Now the Wranglers and Knights, as Lamar Shelton only put up 12, but Lamar Outlaw put up a nice 31 piece. But Ivan Heinsohn was all over him with 43 points, 10 boards, 6 assists, and 8 blocks, as he was just 2 blocks off a triple-double and 4 assists off of a quadruple-double. As now we look into the Cougars game, as Akabanu Shang had 13 points and 15 rebounds, and Hayden Oakley put up a nice performance as they got shut down. Last game of the week, Wade Cage with a nice game, as DeAndre Johnson was just that rebound away. As now we look at our players of the week. But that is all I have the time for this video, so thank you guys so much for watching week 1. If you enjoyed, watch week 2.